At Builders First Source, we're harnessing the power of innovation to transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multifamily units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
We're going to the FRASER Cup.
Yes,
We are going to the FRASER Cup.
As the wild card? No.
No.
I mean, it's possible, but we don't do that.
No.
And the wild card is not for us.
No, the Bighorns are not a second thought. We are champions.
For sure. And as far as who we're playing next weekend, I don't know. Watching the game on my phone.
We've got Great Falls and Sheridan on the phone right here. They're in the third. Great Falls is up by 1, but that doesn't mean much with a whole period left to play.
But they're starting to get a little aggressive, and there's been a lot of penalties. Right now it's 4-on-4, so we'll see.
Is that Great Falls in the red, I assume?
Oh, wait, it's 5-on-3.
Oh, snap.
Dude, Great Falls only has 3 players out, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, Great Falls is 3-on-5 right now, and only 1 goal up, so... With how long left in the third?
They just started it.
They just started. 18 minutes left.
Yeah. And Ryder's in the net. And, okay, we'll get on this whole subject later. Ryder can turn it on in a totally
in Helena
platonic way. He is doing fantastic now. And he does fantastic when he plays us. But then he just sucks during other teams, which... It's like if you're able to play like that, you'd think that you would play like that every single time.
Yeah, I do wonder, though, sometimes if these guys need those really high-intensity interactions to really, be all the way up at their, top of their game.
Yeah, but they lost quite a bit.
I know, right? Well, and that might be why, is because the mindset going in is like, oh, this isn't going to be very hard. And
we've done that. I think we've done that.
And so you go in at
half-mast,
85 or 90%, and it's not enough because the other guys are coming with 100%.
Yeah.
And so,
but
then when you come to when they come to Helena,
they know
it's going to be, it's a 150% game or it's a loss. And so I wonder if some of these guys need that expectation of it's going to be 150% all the time.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
In order to be able to really show up. And AHL TV's glitching out.
Are you shocked?
Absolutely not.
No, I'm not shocked either. And if it keeps doing this, then... Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Anyways, by now I hope everybody's seen us rock hockey. Oh my gosh.
I'm the best goalie there was ever.
Okay, but legit, she did. And even the Horns were saying it. She exceeded expectations. I did exactly what they expected me to do. And that's
I am goalie material.
My daughter rocked it as our sponsor prop. Thanks, Frank, for letting her come out and play. In my defense, I'm old and completely out of shape because exercise makes me very angry.
Yeah.
And I guess I golf too much.
Yeah, she has a golf swing.
We
were talking to tell the story about talking to her last night.
Okay. So, but really quick, in my defense, I'm from the desert where there's not hockey.
Keep
there's
using that as an excuse.
And so we golfed my whole childhood. Golf here. I still we'll go golfing on anniversary trips and stuff. We'll go and we'll do a round of golf.
Well, here's what I want to know. When was the last time you played golf?
3 months ago.
Okay. And how much hockey have you watched since then?
But I haven't played hockey. There's a difference. I can watch hockey. We can watch it all the time, which we do.
I haven't played hockey either, and I feel like I did a pretty good facsimile of a goalie.
I'm going to throw you off your crappy chair. Anyways.
Don't be mad because I was better than you.
You were. You did better. Although I could have gotten up.
What? You could have gotten up. I'd like to see it. Next time you be the goalie.
Word.
It's really hard.
I'll scream, but I'll have fun.
Really hard to get up with all that.
Yeah, you're going to be the forward?
Yeah.
Do it.
I'll do it.
Okay, we're
All
doing
right.
it again. Call Jed. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Jed will be like, no.
What are you doing tomorrow, Jed?
I know. Although he did tell me, I was like, he was supposed to be on the ice with us, you guys. He promised. Did he promise? Whatever. Okay.
Well,
he said. He said
he would. I guess that's as good a promise as you're going to get from Jed.
True. And all of a sudden we like pull up to the rink and then we see Jed
we
drive
come
off.
In, and he's driving away. And,
we're like, what are you doing?
We're not starting for an hour, so he'll be back.
He'll be back. Yeah, he was back all right after a meeting, and then he went to the gym and did all this other stuff, and then he was out at the office building, and he didn't even come in.
I did go give him a hard time about it, though.
Good. He needs it. But anyways, he said, well, we'll do it again, right? When I was
Unofficial mug show take 2.
He's like, well, we'll do it again. I'll go out there with you the next time. I'm like, all right.
Do it again. Oh my gosh, that was so much work. You know, and the funniest comment that was made was when it didn't get caught on camera, unfortunately, but I was exhausted. I was exhausted after, and I couldn't even move that much because I can't skate. I just kind of stood there and hoped that they would like fire the shots directly at me so that I could pretend like that I blocked them. So thanks, Hammett, for all the softballs.
She got some awesome boob shots.
Yeah. Oh, I got hit in the tit a couple times. And Branson's like, oh, we'll try doing this for 60 minutes. And I'm like, I just did this for 40 minutes straight, and I got no media breaks. I got no whistles or timeouts, and I got no intermission. And it was like, he goes out there and he's like, let's play a game. And you guys are all shooting pucks at me. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then immediately, before I even had a minute, he like rounded up all the bighorns that were in the rink. And he was like, hey guys, come on, we're going to shoot some pucks. And I'm like, so like when the guys started shooting pucks, I'd already been doing it for like 30 minutes and I was exhausted. Yeah, and great. I could barely move.
Well, then we made Branson get re-geared up.
Oh, yeah.
And then we started shooting on him, and it was so funny. I know we have a clip. Okay, so when we're watching the game and Branson skates out when somebody's coming with the puck, I'm always like, yeah, get him. When he's doing that to you, it is a flight or fight response. I'm like, get back. Let me do my thing, dude. You stay in your space. Like, it was so scary. I was like, don't do that. Because he would, like, skate out, and his eyes are like, I'm gonna kill you.
That he was, like, it was you shooting shots on him, but he was still, like, 100% locked in.
Oh, 100%.
Like, he was, like, waiting for the shots and ready.
And it was terrifying.
That boy has no off switch. No. It's only on.
He's like, goalie helmet, on.
He's, like, on or asleep.
Yeah, no.
That's it.
Flat out. But then he did that, like, skate out, and I looked at him, I'm like, don't do that. That is scary.
It's very scary.
Because he's, like, out, and you can see just the eyes, and I'm like, huh. Now I know why they started with the serial killer movies with hockey masks on. Because you can't see it from the stands, but when you're there on the opposing end, it is
super
scary.
Super scary.
I'm like, stop! And we know him enough where he's not scary. Like, he's a great kid.
He's a great kid.
And that was not Branson. I don't know what happened.
That was Appleman the goalie. That wasn't Branson.
I don't like it.
Appleman the goalie.
I don't like it. So I was yelling at him. I'm like, stop. And he's like, I can do what I want. And I'm like, no, you stay there and stop with the crazy. Because it's hard enough for me to, 1, skate. 2, figure out how not to do a golf swing and not fall.
Yeah.
Like,
so we're going to work on learning how to skate before the next Muck show so that I can actually like learn how to move around a little bit.
Oh no, you're going to be the forward.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the goalie.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm going to be the goalie.
So you can so I can move around a little bit because I really can't I cannot skate. I can't when I say I can't skate, I mean like I can't skate.
I mean exactly what I meant.
Like the very first clip of the Muck show of the video that I put together of all the like the supercut clips, the very first one is like Branson trying to show me how to like strafe over, and I literally like strafe this far on the ice, and I fall flat on my back.
Oh, it was
and
bad
I hit
one
hard,
too.
Dude.
Bam!
Yeah.
Did we post that?
Well, it's in the video. Yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do a supercut of all my.
Oh yeah, her flub. There was a lot, which granted, I mean, goalies spend a lot more time on knees or laying down or the splits. We saw a couple of those. So they're a lot more active as far as that goes. Yeah. Like our guys, they'll trip or they'll slip, but it's not an all the time thing.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, the players are on their
feet.
on their feet
But
the majority of
goalies
the
are
time. But the
not.
goalies are like up and down and up and down and up and down. And it is a lot harder to go from like knees on the ice to standing up on your skates than you would think. Like,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you don't have like solid ground. Your foot, the foot that goes up first is just like sliding away as you're trying to stand up, using that as like it's really hard. I have a much deeper empathy for goalies and how hard it is to do that job now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which is partly kind of why I wanted to do it anyways, because we talk about goalies so much.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I am a huge fan. Like I find the goalies to be the most interesting like hockey persona on the ice. They're also kind of like the ones that kind of most align with my own like the way I think. Like the super analytical, crazy like hyper focused type of people. And then to actually like be in the gear and be on the ice and have a bunch of like hockey players looking at me getting ready to slap shots in my face, I'm like,
You're all, I'm just reevaluating my life decisions.
I'm gonna just be a lot nicer to the goalies from now on.
Yeah. So it was a great experience. Back to my amazing golf swing. So Hirschberger, we were out talking to players after.
Funny.
Hirschberger's like, he just comes up and talks. I'm like, yeah, I guess I have a golf swing.
And this was our first interaction, like
yeah, we've
one-on-one
never
with
really
Hirschberger.
talked to him. And he's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, you have a golf swing. And I'm like, do I really? And he's like, yeah, it's like this. And I'm like, I did not look like that.
Impression.
I did not look like that. And then my husband's like, yeah, you
kinda
did.
did.
I'm like, I did not swing my hip out, and I was not. Okay, maybe I did. I don't know. But it was so funny because I'm like, I was holding it like this, and to me, it's like swing club, hit ball, or hit puck. Like, it's the same thing, but it's not. But in my mind, I was like, it's the same thing as golf. You hit it.
A hockey swing is like the shape of a hockey stick.
Well, I get that,
You have
but
to you have to like go down.
I've never even cared
a golf
to
swing
think.
is-
Like, I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
Because I never thought I
never
would
played
be
hockey
doing
before.
it.
Yeah.
And so they were like, and so then they were trying to like teach me. Well, teach me. No, they were just laughing at me.
They were totally chirping us the whole time.
I know.
It was
It's hilarious. And I was like, stop! I'm trying. So then while Branson was done chirping at me for a second, I took the advantage and I'm like, okay, I'm holding it. And then Marcus Ray was behind me. I'm like, he keeps telling me I have a golf swing and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And Marcus is like, let's see it. And I'm like, well, I hold it like this. And he's already started shaking it. I'm like, what? That's how you're supposed to.
We had no idea.
And then he's like, let me see what you got. So all I did was this. And he's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, well, what part of it? Like, what? There was no help.
Okay, so speaking... They were absolutely not very helpful at all.
It was great, though.
They were
Keep
having
it
a
up.
good time, and we were having a good time. But I learned absolutely nothing about how to play hockey or how to skate better. Branson tried. I am not teachable, apparently. Did you notice when we first came out on the ice what they were doing? Because they were having like a little mini practice, and there was so there was only like 6 or 8 of them out there. So we come out, and they're all laying on their sides on the ice in like with their legs, and they're like doing like this, like lifting their feet, and like they're flopping fish. And I'm like, I think they're chirping us, but I don't quite understand what's going on. Like, I think they're making fun of us that we look like floppy fish. They were not. They have never done that exercise before. That was not an exercise.
Check this out. My thing, I didn't see that because every time I try to get on the ice, you send me on another errand. So she's like, I need the tape. I need this. And, did you get that? And I'm like, So I kept having to walk off and then get stuff for her. So I did not experience that. But if I did, I'd be like, you guys, stop.
With the voice crack and
Yeah,
everything.
the voice crack and everything. Knock it off. We're just trying. It was a great time. The cameraman was he was cracking up at us. And he was, he's like, hey, the only time he ever scripted, he was just like, come up here to the camera and be like, watch this, and then skate off and hit the puck.
And you did.
And I did do it, and I posted that part, and there was a couple whiffs where I'm like, and then right over the puck, I'm like, because
I tried to make you look good,
but
because
like
you did
shoot
a shot.
You did,
and I blocked it.
But
I blocked pretty much all of her shots.
Because they were like,
they were
miles
the
an
weakest,
hour.
They were the weakest. Like, if you watch the video's on our YouTube. It's like a 4-minute long thing. And if you watch Branson, I took all of his shots and I stacked them like they went in order of like of the shots that he took on me. And the first one was kind of like he was testing to see what I would do. And then he full rears back, whack, hit it as hard, and it hit me boom, right in the chest. Like, I took it.
It was funny. And then he kept telling
took
me
it
the
like
other
a soldier.
boys, when Hammett got up there, he's like, get her, Hammett. Just get her.
And Hammett's like, I don't know.
I know. So they were being actually
They
nice.
were being
Marcus
so
got
nice.
you, though.
Marcus did, yeah.
But it was...
Well, the really hard shots that the boys were shooting went into the corners that I couldn't cover anyways.
Yeah, sometimes you would lift. Anyways, it was a great experience. I had a blast. I mean, we don't really take ourselves too serious, so it's like chirp away. Yeah, please, because we deserve it for even being out here.
And you can see me too. Like, the audio wasn't great. You couldn't hear me at all on the video, and the audio was not great. But you can see if you watch. You can see me. I'm like with my big blocker on. You can't even see my hand. I'm like pointing at the guys. I was so doing my best.
It was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did it. Just do it.
Well, we do the skate with the bighorns. The boosters put on the skate with the bighorns after the game.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not shooting pucks or they don't have sticks or anything out there, but you get to go like skate with them. Like next time, I guess we probably don't have any more this season, but next season, definitely like hop in and do it because those guys are a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're a lot. It was a good experience. And now I'm like, I want to do it again because I got to get like... Now that I
she wants to do it
not
again.
even with the boys or recorded or anything, but I'm like, I want to work on the swing because in my mind also it's like you have the stick and I see the sticks getting broken all the time during games and I'm sure they're over each other's heads, but to me it's like you hit anything in that material, you hit it against the ice, it's gonna snap like anything. So I think I was trying to. You know, in golf, it's like you don't want to leave a divot. You don't want to like chunk it.
Or like bend your...
And so I'm like... So I was just trying to like graze the top because I didn't want to hit the ice, but I think you're supposed to. Like the boys, you can hear them hitting the ice when they shoot.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, Leanna. I don't think you can swing the stick hard enough on the ice to break it.
I could.
Anyways. No, absolutely not. You had the wimpiest shots.
Because I was trying to be cautious.
They were so like, it was...
Shh.
She couldn't. Shh. You can't.
I want to see you do it.
I
want to see you do it.
I'll do it.
Okay, we're gonna swap roles. Are you ready, boys?
Let's go.
See you this week.
Yeah, next set of boys. Yeah,
next set. Bring them on.
Let's go. All right.
Anyways, it was a great time. Definitely recommend it. So that was our life on Thursday. Update on the game. It's still 1-0. Sheridan actually pulled their goalie 10 minutes through the third.
Is he back?
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, still a 1-goal game. So we don't know yet. So
I would rather play Great Falls. I would rather play them. Just because I don't like the travel. I feel for the back and forth. Those are long trips. And even though with car rides and flights and stuff that you're sitting for so long, you think you'd be rested, but it doesn't work that way.
That's not how travel works.
No. So even if you're on a bus for 7 hours and you're able to get up and walk around, it's taxing on your body. And I know on Friday, like we had so many of our players that were sick, especially our really good ones. You know, Hammett wasn't there. Chadwick wasn't there. Branson wasn't there. Who else was out? There was a couple others. Anyway,
Kai Robinson's still
Ray
out.
wasn't there.
Yeah, Ray wasn't there.
And then the players that were there, we spoke to, and they were not feeling well either. They were just able to power through with, Dayquil and stuff. So
IV infusions.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it having to do that travel. And a lot of your players aren't there because they're sick. And then most of our team was not well. I get what happened. I don't like it. We shouldn't lose to the Sabres at any given time, but we did. And that made this weekend even more important. Mm-hmm. And I felt so bad for Appleman only because, like what she was saying, there was no more room for air. There is none.
Yeah.
Like, if we lose, we're done.
Both games.
And then
it was the high stakes for both games.
Both games.
Which is really hard.
We had to win.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad for him because I was like, dude, that is a lot of pressure.
On a 19-year-old?
On a 19-year-old that is still not feeling the best. And he hasn't, it was awful. I felt so bad for him, but he pulled through.
He did.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give my hot take for Wednesday because I feel like you're like dancing around the issue but not actually saying that we lost on Wednesday. So here's my hot take.
I don't like saying those words out loud. Because then if I say
It's
them,
fine.
then I speak them into existence.
game.
And then I
Sometimes
can pretend like they didn't happen.
Yeah, but it did happen, and it's a game, and so sometimes you lose.
I just dreamt it, and it was a nightmare.
If you're lucky, it's a perfect season, but for the most part, it's not going to be. Like, I can be optimistic and have faith in our guys that they're going to win, but also be realistic and say, but that's not a guarantee. It is never guaranteed that we're going to win.
No.
Ever.
Okay.
So, my hot take for
like
Wednesday. My hot take for Wednesday. So, Appelman didn't even go. He wasn't there at all.
Sick.
He stayed home. He was told to stay home by higher ups. That was Miller's chance to really shine.
Yeah,
and I don't know if he's suffering from the same stuff the other guys are, if he was in a power through moment where he was feeling ill and not 100% or what, but I feel like there was a real opportunity blown for him to like step up to the plate and be, because he's got so much talent. He is such a good goalie, but I just didn't see it. And I feel like that became a weak link, and then
it went downhill. Yeah.
It went downhill, and it kind of trickles. I mean, I feel like if you have a strong captain, a strong team bond, and a strong goalie, and then by default also a strong defense, that's kind of like the magic recipe to make a perfect team. But you take one of those out, and suddenly you just don't. Like, if you don't have a strong goalie, the defense is not going to back them up. It's going to affect the team bond and the captains. You know, it just trickles out and around to all the other parts of having a strong team. And it's catastrophic. And,
I think so, yeah.
and it's such a high pressure and like high stakes week this week. I wasn't mad. I was disappointed.
I think everybody was, but you have to throw in the games before that. Miller played one game with Bozeman.
Yeah.
And it ended up being an overtime with Bozo.
Yeah.
And now I know that was not an important game for us. We would have been first in the division regardless. But it's Bozeman.
Yeah.
And so that was... We were like, oh, that was kind of his, maybe he didn't feel good. Or maybe we were all making excuses. And then when this happened, when this was a high-stakes game...
This is a good chance for him to really step up and the whole team to really step up, and it just fell apart instead. And so like I don't want to throw shade on our guys like ever, but I also am going to call it how I see it. Like, I'm not just going to pretend it didn't happen because it did. And I'm going to give all the grace in the world. But at the same time, that was an excellent opportunity for Miller. And it just, it was blown.
And I was like, okay, so our goalies typically, regardless of this last couple games, they typically, like, if our goalies have a bad game, they might let 2 in.
Yeah.
And they beat themselves up over 2.
Yeah.
Okay?
But 4?
But no, that was 5.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I was referring to the Bozeman game.
Oh, yeah, 4. And then most recently with the Sabres, 5.
5.
Like, that's unheard of in Bighorn world. And... So we have high expectations. We do. Like,
the expectations have been set very high already.
Yeah.
It's not just us. It's
but
like
we've been witnessing
us as
these
a team,
expectations played out.
Us as a team, that's and by default, then the fan base, which includes us, our expectations are really high, and that is a really hard thing to maintain. And we don't expect perfection, and it's really a bummer when opportunities are missed. So that's all I have to say about Wednesday night.
Get her.
Everything.
I was being nice. Remember that, people. I'm the nice one.
Being nice. I'm realistic.
I'm the nice one.
I think realistic is more kind than nice, but whatever. We'll argue that.
Keep telling yourself that so you can sleep at night.
Another day. Friday.
Friday.
So I was supposed to be at a women's retreat all weekend. My friends had booked this big house out in Elliston. It was a beautiful house.
In Elliston?
Yeah.
A beautiful house in Elliston?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was 3 miles back, 4 miles back in the woods. It's one of the
outskirts.
It was one of the ranch homes way outside of Elliston. Big, beautiful log home. And there was 9 of us going together. We were all supposed to be there from Friday afternoon until Sunday afternoon. It's currently Sunday afternoon now. And I totally bagged on half of it to go to the Friday and Saturday games. I was not supposed to be at either game, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't stay away.
Well, you can, because they were high stakes games, and Friday
they were do or die games. That's what I kept calling them.
And so,
win or Cancun.
I know, but it was those games. Our guys, chef's kiss on that one. Beautiful. They came out. I mean, oh my gosh. We got goals in the first. I mean, all the things that we hadn't seen that we were like, what's happening? They came out. They were on fire. They were, no missed passes. The aggression was real.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
We were on top of it.
And it was
our bighorns back, baby.
I know. Hammett was back. Chadwick was back. Yeah. Branson was back. And I was like, here we go.
Let's get it. Let's
get it.
And we did.
It was, is that Friday?
This is Friday. We whomped them 5-1. We mopped the rink with those guys on Friday.
I know.
And Saturday.
At Builders First Source, we're harnessing the power of innovation to transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multifamily units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
We got a goal, 40 seconds in?
Yeah.
Tyler, Stan.
Austin Tyler.
And then later on, Eaker got a goal in the first, so that's 2 in the first, baby. We got 3 in the second, and that was Finn. Oh, we have a Finn story.
Finn, Hammett, Friddle, one of our favorite power throuples.
I know. Think about it.
Oh, yeah, we have a Finn story for later.
Think about it. We had Finn, Hammett, and Friddle.
That's a power throuple.
Dude.
That's my favorite thing to say now.
It is. And then they scored in the fourth. Dude, whatever. We don't care. Fourth.
It didn't go to the fourth. In the third. They did. We scored 5 goals between the first and second. Tyler, Stan, Tyler, Eaker, Finn, Clint Isaacson, and Trey Perea. And then we were so gung-ho for a shutout. And I didn't want to say it.
We didn't say it.
I didn't say it.
I didn't say it.
Somebody said it, and you know who you are. You said it.
Your fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
Then they scored in the third.
But that's okay.
With 4 minutes left of the
game. And it's so funny because even when they scored, after we were 5 up, you could look at Appleman. He's like,
oh, he's so hard on himself.
It's 1 that you played amazing. Of course, there was a lot of penalties on Friday, but not as many as you would expect because
you know why? You know why? Because in the first we got tripped and there was no call, and then less than 5 minutes later, Hirschberger went into the box for tripping for the exact same situation, and they both happened with opposing players, and one of them had the puck. The one that got tripped had the puck, and we didn't. We the guy that tripped us didn't get called, but
that's how it always works.
I don't.
That's how it always works. Whatever, But
I think I said that backwards. Eaker got the first goal in the first minute.
Why does it say Tyler did?
Second goal with 40 seconds left with Tyler. Because the time on here. So the clock on the board counts down, but the clock in Game Center counts up. So it says 1 minute and 4 with Eaker's goal. So you would think that there was 1 minute left in the period, but it's actually 1 minute 4 seconds into the period. So I get the clocks mixed up. So
yeah, so do I.
It was Eaker's goal first in the first minute, and then Stan's in the last 40 seconds of the period.
Stan. Oh,
that was amazing.
I love it. It was great. And I have to say that I know that we've got, and every year I think this happens, but last year I don't think it happened as much, the whole trading and getting new players so close to playoffs. And I'm sure that's a shock for the boys. It's like, hey, we got rid of, your friend, Young, that's been on the team for 2 years, and all of a sudden he's gone.
Miss him.
We were heartbroken. I can't even imagine how the team felt.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden here comes this new guy, and they're like, here's your new Young.
Yeah.
And they're like, I get
it's
it.
Not a replacement.
I know. And so then it's like, oh, you guys are going to have to work together, love each other. You guys are like this now.
Yeah. And to be fair, like Frittles wasn't a replacement for Cam.
I felt like there was maybe gaps, like a distance between like old players, new players, because there was so much trading. And it wasn't just like new guys that were, dusters on the bench. These were actual players that have been with us that played well and we had a relationship with. And then all of a sudden there's new players, all these new players coming in, and it's like, wow, I get it. But I feel like last night that gap closed, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I always felt like there was like this.
That's very insightful. Good for you.
I can do it sometimes.
The team coalesced.
I know, but it seems, I don't even know if there was a gap. I just feel like the way that we were playing, it seems like there wasn't a mesh. Like we had the old players, not old, you know what I mean, older players, they played together well. And then we had the new players and there was like, they weren't combining well.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And so, but Friday night, I started seeing stuff and I'm like, oh, they're actually like becoming one now instead of having
and that's
this
exactly
gap.
what we need right before the FRASER Cup.
I know, because it was in the second on Friday night where Appleman got ran, and no joke, right in front of our Gen Pop seats, here comes Chadwick flat, tackles the guy, like pins him down on the ground, and it was like an instant, and I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. It was
Dude,
awesome.
It was just like, ah! And he just sat on him.
Yeah, he took his jersey, like pulled him down, straddled him, and
Just
held him
pinned him
down with
down.
his stick. And he was like,
Dude,
at him.
and I was like,
oh.
and he didn't even have, there was not a second thought. He saw Appleman get hurt and he was just on it. And that guy, I would have had the fear. Dude, I had the fear just watching Chadwick. It was like a lion pouncing on prey.
Dude, it was.
It was.
Amazing. We'll put a clip in.
Yeah,
Right
I love it.
here.
And back to the point. Hip sag shot. Nice block. Frittles centered across. We got a delayed penalty coming up here. No goal. So whistle came before the shot. They have two more players tangling here.
That to me was like, all right,
Yeah.
we're defending each other. We've had more defense. Like Shell came in. Shell got hurt. That was in the second.
He got so beat up all weekend.
Yeah, he was getting beat up, but he got
Are you
nailed.
okay, Shell?
No, he's such a sweet.
He's such a sweet
I just
kid.
love Shell. But he got hurt, and then here comes Lindsay just in his defense, and I mean, I love it. I think that it is fantastic knowing that the players have each other's backs now, because before I don't think that was the case. People would get hurt. And it depends on what side you were on, the new kids or the old kids. And then if the new kids got hurt, they would check on each other. And if the old kids got hurt, they would check on each other. But there was never like a gap.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but now you're seeing like the whole team just coming together as one, and they have each other's backs. And let me tell you, you could see it.
You could see it. 100%. Oh, we had a Hammett fight.
Yeah, we did.
With Vockler.
You know what? Good job, Hammett.
Way to go, dude.
I know you're probably not supposed to fight in these important games and stuff, but sometimes we just need a Hammett
We
fight.
just need a good, solid Hammett fight.
That just, doesn't it just make you happy?
So happy. So happy. We'll put a clip in.
It was a good one.
Well, we got some sticks flying and fists starting to fly here as Kelton Chadwick getting up slowly on the ice to see if they get hit from behind.
I just
And he
love
didn't,
it.
I'm double checking the roster, but yeah, he was out Saturday night.
Yeah, he was out Saturday. I'm wondering because he was one of the ones that were sick, that he just came back too soon, and maybe Friday just wiped him, and he's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, and he's one of the ones that we really need to like preserve.
Preserve
Like,
him on ice.
We need him back next weekend, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Damon kept him out just to give him a moment to get back to normal.
Just so you know, really quick, here's a gap. Great Falls just beat Sheridan in a shutout, 1-0. We are not rooting for you, Great Falls, but we're just happy Sheridan's out.
We're happy that we're playing you next weekend.
Because you're like an hour away where Sheridan's like
well,
too far.
logistically,
Too
yeah,
far.
it makes a lot more sense. But also, it's Great
Sheridan's
Falls. It's
annoying.
Great Falls.
Sheridan shouldn't even be here. Where'd they come from?
Right?
Great Falls, at least you've been in the playoffs the last couple times. Sheridan didn't even make the playoffs last year. Like, come on. Sheridan, who do you think you are? Well, nobody now. We're very sorry for your loss.
You're just a bunch of guys with stinky gym bags now.
Yeah. What's up now, Sereno?
Yes, he's still number 1.
Yeah. And Leaf.
Dang, dude. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, 2 of the top 10 skaters are now out of the FRASER. How's that? How's that? So the third... the Sabres had... On Friday, they had Swanson in as their goalie.
Who's that?
We had no idea who that was. He let all 5 goals in, and then they swapped him out for Rettler.
Rettler, dude, gotta give credit where credit is deserved. When I saw that jersey with that misspelled name that somehow they come up with Rettler, I got a little sad. Well, because we had this person over here, and I was like, oh, we've got this. And he's like, never say we've got this. And I'm like, what do you mean? We've got it. We're 5 up. Like, what? And then I got all anxious
over
again.
till it's
I know,
over.
but I'm like, once we're 5, unless it's us, because we can come back and
When
get,
we're
4.
5-0 in the beginning of the third, and it was 7-33 shots on goal. They had only 7 shots on our goal.
7 shots at the end of the second, people.
At the end of the second.
7.
Yeah.
Good job,
We
Branson,
we were pretty confident we were going to come away with a win.
Don't
at that
say that,
point.
though. People
However,
get angry.
you don't say it during the game.
No.
You say it after the game.
Well, I did something. I was doing something, and I'm like, oh, man, well, at least we'll get this one. Maybe, tomorrow's going to be a different story. Never say!
Don't say
and
it.
I'm like,
you don't say that during the game, dude.
It was during the break.
No. You don't say it until the game is over and the scores are posted. You should know better.
In my defense, things were happening.
Yeah.
Okay?
So then they did get a bunch more shots on goal. They ended up with like 22 or something like that. So something about Rettler being in.
I know. I was like joking because I walked up to Branson after. I'm like, good job. And he's like, well, I only had to stop 22. And I'm like, still. It's like.
I stopped more than 22 when I played.
I know. And I was laughing. I'm like, okay, but still.
Yeah.
22 is still like.
A lot.
You did great. And then for the next night, I was like, well, you better be ready for tomorrow. You might have to stop 23. And he was like, oh my gosh, this chick.
Whatever.
But it's just still 22 is, I mean, they're good shots. Most of the shots that these boys make are legit shots, and it takes talent to be able to stop them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like you said, when the boys wanted to shoot on you and make it, they did no problem.
They're in the NA3 playoffs for a reason.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Not
but
because
like,
they're the worst team.
They're not just like what I was doing, 2 miles an hour straight toward her stinking skate.
Yeah, I didn't hardly even have to move.
You didn't move at all. I did. I fell.
I want to give Feinstein a quick little shout out. He sniped one towards the goal. It didn't make a goal, but it was a beautiful shot. So we're gonna clip it and put it in here real quick.
We have all the clips.
We've been singing a little bit of leg day praise over here,
dude. Right?
Boys got treat drunks.
And
it was like an excellent. There was a lot of excellent shots, but that one ended up in my notes. It was really good.
Feet out high, a one-timer. Feinstein, a shot and a save by Rattler.
And then my final note for Friday is our boys are playing excellent. Defense is top notch.
You got a lot of chef's kisses.
I do. It's deserved.
Our defense was top notch. The fact that those boys, not the boys, which boys? The Sabres really only got 7 shots on goal.
That's amazing.
After they beat us, I gotta stop gagging over the beat us thing on Wednesday. I don't like thinking about it. But they beat us the game before.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, after 2 periods.
But that's
7.
That's when Len, you were noticing this. That's when all the links in that team chain were strong.
Or I could be delusional and just seeing stuff, but I think
you're
true.
not delusional
Really?
at all. Like
Really?
that was all the links in that team chain. The captains, the goalie, the defense. What was the other one I said? Oh, and the team bond. Like all of that came together a lot better on Friday night.
And I get it.
It makes a big difference.
You know when you're like younger and you have like a clique, and then a new girl comes in and you're like, you're not mean to her, but she doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And so I get it though.
Yeah.
You don't have to be mean.
It takes time.
And they could be
It takes
excellent,
time.
but I think that we finally have it.
Yeah.
She has been accepted.
And by she, we mean
Friddle and
Friddle
Stan
and
and Branson. Friddle, Stan, Branson. Whatever happened to Brian White?
That's what I was just going to say.
What is this guy? He is
He's gone.
a ghost of a man. I have never
oh.
seen him. I've never met him.
He only played a couple games.
But like, we didn't replace him.
No, I don't think so.
Where'd he go? I was always like, oh, I liked what I saw. He seemed like an excellent player. He would just swoop on ice,
the little bit that we saw,
do some stuff, and then he'd leave. And then all of a sudden, it's like, where'd it go? Like, who is this guy? I don't even know what he looks like. Like, who?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up on the protected list and the ad drop list really quick and see if we see anything.
Last time we looked, we didn't see anything.
That's true.
Maybe
Yeah,
he's sick.
we checked the ad drop list.
Is he sick? Does
For
anybody
like
ever
6
know where Brian White is?
Brian. Brian.
Knock once if you can hear us. Like, what happened to this kid? And was he a figment of my imagination?
No, he was actually like he was part of our team.
I
for
named
a minute.
the figment. Finally.
Oh yeah, he's on the protected list, so he's still on our team. Technically, he's a forward. I haven't seen him though.
Brian.
Where you at, bro? What you doing? Where you going?
Poor Brian.
Poor Brian.
Who is he?
We don't even know this guy.
I've heard things. People have known him from other teams, and we've heard things. And like when he did play is what I saw. I mean, I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
How long has he been out? Because now that I think about it, I don't think we've seen him for a while.
Yeah, he only played like a couple games when we traded him right before. So that was like the week before Parents Weekend was the trade deadline.
Yeah, but people have been getting dropped though.
Well,
we
yeah,
haven't
but
been trading. Yeah. Did he even?
We don't know.
Sorry, Brian.
Sorry, Brian.
I guess
we'd love to know you better.
We have that gap too with new people. It's like, oh yeah, you remember that one kid that one time?
Yeah, that kid from band camp.
One kid from band camp.
Okay, so Saturday, Sabres got the first goal.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. And we had another power throuple, which was Finn and Friddle from our first power throuple, but since Hammett wasn't on the ice, it was Finn, Friddle, Stan.
I love it.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Anything that has to do with Friddle and Stan anymore, and then you throw in a Finn.
Mm-hmm. And Friddle
gave
us a hat trick.
Dude, it has been so long.
So long. We deserved this hat trick.
You did that for us. I know. I don't know why. It's like we've had so many players get 2. And then it was just like...
Yeah, because Trey got 2 last night, too. Oh, man, a double hattie would have been amazing. And they tried so hard to get Trey a hat trick,
But Shell, the last few games, has also got 2. It's always 2. And then it's like, oh my gosh.
The tease.
And one of those goals that they got was this perfect setup between Friddle and Stan. Mm-hmm. And you know for a fact they had practiced it and it was perfection.
Yep.
Oh.
I put a supercut up of the hat trick goals, and I included that setup.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch it.
It's so I put it on our Instagram reel, so it'll actually expire here shortly. Wait, reels or which one expires?
The story.
Oh no, it should still be on our Instagram, or I also posted it on our YouTube channel, which you can find.
Can you? Is it
at
still
unofficialbighorns.com? Nope, I fixed the website. It's been down for a little while. I don't know what happened. But I fixed it. So unofficialbighorns.com is back up. You can click the YouTube link and go watch it on YouTube, or it should still be on our Instagram somewhere if you know how to use Instagram, which I don't.
It was great because it was right off the face-off. What's happening? It was right off the face-off. I thought I was in a
rave.
We've
got the Minnesota Moose and Alexandria Blizzard game on now because they just started.
Yeah, and they just had like this disco ball looking thing and it just like flashed in my eyes. But it was right after a what was it called? When they dropped the puck.
Oh, face-off. Oh yeah, it was right off the face-off. It was
right off the face-off. Stan got it, or no?
It was like drop, pass, goal. It was that fast. It was literally that fast.
No,
it was good.
It was
Stan with winning those face-offs, man.
I know. Keep it up, dude. He's
I'll put
quick.
him on every face-off.
He is quick.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
And then right before we got our third goal in the first, because although they got the first goal, we came back with 3. So
3 in the first? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
yeah. Tit for tat for tat.
I
for tat.
I was voting. I was like, dude, I know. I got greedy because I was like, oh, a hat trick, yeah. Wouldn't it be cool to have a hat trick in the first?
You said it out loud though.
I know, but I was so excited.
Jinxed it.
I'm like,
so
we have
sorry,
never.
Friddle. I'm so sorry, Friddle, that she ruined it.
You still got it, man.
We did, yeah.
But I'm like, have we ever?
I put in so much work for that hat trick.
I'm like, have we ever gotten a hat trick in the first period? No, I don't think so.
A hat trick all together in one period?
Yeah.
Period?
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool. Dude.
That would be so cool. I know it's happened in like hockey. What's it called? Canon history, hockey history.
Well, I'm sure it's happened,
but
I want it to
it
happen.
hasn't happened for like since we've been fans. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It was close. It was close,
so close.
and it was great. And thank you for that.
And Cassidy was the ref, and I have not seen a ref get in the way as much as Cassidy did last night. Like,
not even Cassidy.
he
in
has
previous
one
games.
job.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I'm like, does he want to be a player? Like he was always
he
in their way.
didn't need to be that close. Like,
All the
he would
time.
always skate like up, way right up on the. Maybe he's near. Maybe he forgot his glasses and he's nearsighted.
He's like,
we need to get him like a strap for his glasses so they don't fall off when he skates.
You know,
like, come on,
the crowd
dude.
was getting really mad at him
Dude, they were
because the
getting so
boys
mad.
kept having to play around him.
And the chick ref, whoever she is.
I don't know who. That
She's
might be
short.
the female Jones.
Yeah,
though.
she's short like Connett, but she's not.
Blonde,
It wasn't.
yeah.
She wasn't nearly as good as Connett.
No, not
My
at all.
only ref that I've ever liked.
Yeah, true.
And that's because her tooth got knocked out and she came back out on the ice. And I
Yeah.
like mad respect.
Dude.
But yeah, this chick, we think it was the female Jones. I guess I can see if the paperwork is up.
But Cassidy was in it, and he's the type that he's either up our butts and calling a million penalties, or he's like hands off and barely calls anything. And I don't know which one I like more because they both come with a whole set of problems. But he, this time, decided he wasn't going to call as much. And the boys started getting away with a lot of stuff. And I think it was like a green light. Like, hey, they're not calling anything. Let's start beating each other down. Because the Sabres had nothing to lose. And once they started losing severely, they knew they weren't going to win. So then their goal was to get us riled up. And, you know, it works.
Yeah.
People know it works. And I don't blame them. Like, if somebody... You can only take so much before you kind of snap.
Yeah.
Some of our players, it doesn't take that much.
Hammett.
Well, he wasn't even playing Saturday.
I know.
Our new Hammett is called Garrett Lindsay.
Dude. Garrett Lindsay's got the Mike Tyson vibes. He's purty, but he's dangerous.
Dude.
Flat
out.
He needs
Pretty but dangerous.
He needs the face tattoos.
We need to Photoshop that. Garrett Lindsay with the
100%
Mike Tyson.
with Mike Tyson. I'm going to see if I can do that. So, he may be pretty, but he's got the most penalty points. Say it.
Most penalty points.
Of
That
the
is
team.
a little more
Of the
difficult
team.
than I thought.
Yeah, most penalty points of our entire team at 129 so
Yeah.
far.
He does this. He does naughties.
Hey, Lindsay, you're number one.
But I think usually he like fall out fights. But you know, with Hansen and him, the previous time we played the Sabres, when we were told not to fight, and he just put his head down and he took it. Well, last night he had one of those fights where he just put his head down and took it. But there was one, and I tried to clip it, and it wasn't even all TV's fault. It was our camera person. I hate saying that, but they missed it.
Oh.
So
Well, yeah.
Shell got hurt. I had mentioned it earlier. Shell got hurt, and the camera person was focused on Shell laying on the ground, and you see Lindsay take off, like over here. And then by the time they clip, Lindsay's already getting escorted off the ice, and Marks, the Sabres guy, has got blood streaming down his face. It was that quick.
Is he the one that ended up going to the emergency room?
Yeah, so that little
sent him
punch,
to the ER.
like literally, Lindsay had to just seriously just skate right toward him, sock him in the face.
Put him down.
And that was all there was time for. And of course, we couldn't see it. I wish we could have seen it because that must have...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so his nose, I guess, was like crooked and just profusely bleeding, and they couldn't get the bleeding to stop.
Yeah.
So they had to call the ambulance to come pick him up.
Yeah. Which
We don't.
We hope he recovers just fine, but
The last ambulance.
don't put Shell down next time. Oh wait,
Right?
oh wait, there won't be a next time because their season is over.
It's over. But that was another instance about, the older team defending the newer guys. And so just seeing that made me happy. Sorry, we're
Okay,
still watching
so
the
game, the Minnesota Moose and Alexander Blizzard game is on, and they were doing this like cool like it was the goalie like in the goalie pose with like green lights and smoke coming up behind him.
That's pretty lit.
In the net. It was really cool.
Anyways, so Lindsay, mad props for defending our guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Trying not to
scary-
send other guys to the hospital, I guess.
Scary punch, man. That's the Mike Tyson vibe we're talking about.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to be
Well,
on the other
then,
side of that fist.
shortly after that, Friedel got his hat trick.
Yep.
And then shortly after that, Lindsay shows up yet again in my notes that he and Sabres number 22 got in a yelling match, but they were separated before he could.
So that was
put him in the hospital, too.
second.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So Shell got wiped out the first 3 minutes, and then by like the last 6 minutes, Lindsay...
Oh, so Lindsay came back out. Oh, he gets kicked out later. Wait for it.
Oh, yeah. Yet again.
Yeah. So that's sad.
Well-
but you know what I was thinking about? The last time we sent somebody to the emergency room, I was like,
Oh. And the
do
coach
you
threw a
remember?
hissy fit. Yeah.
Trey
It was
Perea
a wild.
break. No, that was Bozeman. Trey
it?
Perea breaks porchuncula collarbone. He was in the ER taking selfies, threatening us all.
That was a mess. That was a
Okay.
mess. That was so unprofessional.
But it was. It was. He was like, karma, bighorns. I'm like, the coach is literally threatening our team. But Porky, don't act like you're the victim, dude. Stop. Just stop.
Good old Porky.
Good old Porky. You got what was coming from.
You know-
If you don't dish it if you can't take it. And I'm sorry you had like a broken bone and stuff, but
Also, you play hockey.
you did play hockey. And Trey, not good job, but good job.
We do not endorse
No.
in damaging the other players so much that they have to go to the hospital.
Okay. I know we're going to keep breaking away to this,
Yeah.
but I don't know if
What?
you guys can see this.
I can clip it in. We can clip it.
Clip it. Dude, fire and ice. They have
What?
flames burning.
And a big inflatable like entrance thingy.
They have an inflatable entrance as these people, as
And,
the
like,
players are coming
there's,
out,
like-
blue fire flaming up through the rink. And it's called Fire and Ice.
They're trying to outdo us.
This is, dude, legit though.
Yeah.
This is like
okay.
NHL stuff.
They
right
can
here.
try to they can try to outdo us because I love to see another junior hockey team putting in this level of production in their games because
Yeah.
this is what brings the fans.
True. It is true.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come back to that later, but we have other things that we think would be great too to bring in.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
So then, and again during the second, while we were killing penalties, so Friedel made his third goal when it was 4-on-4. So technically wasn't a shorthanded goal. That would have been sick. It was 4-on-4, so it was even teams. Didn't count as a shorthanded. And then to finish out the penalty, we have an absolute penalty killing unit, an absolute unit penalty killing absolute unit. I'm trying to say absolute unit because it's like the thing that kids say these days, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah,
haven't
an
heard that one
absolute
yet.
unit. Yeah, like my son had this idea to create a Pokemon deck of like funky Pokemons, and so we put
Aren't
in
they all?
yeah. Well, no, I mean yes, they're like cartoony, but he was like making them like whatever. Anyway, so his first idea was to make, instead of Pikachu, make it Pikachu. And so we went into AI and told it to create Pikachu, but as a bodybuilder, and it was like this massively ripped, like yellow Pikachu, and it was like, that's an absolute unit. So our penalty killing absolute unit
Gotcha.
was Finn, Chadwick, Hunter, Cologne, and Friddle.
All right.
Absolute penalty kill unit.
Chadwick.
Until Finn got put up for tripping.
Dude, at that point, our penalty box was overflowing.
There was so many guys in it.
There was 3 or 4 of our guys in there, and Finn was in there. But I just want to point out, Chadwick, man, you came out from being sick, just on fire, and we even heard it in the stands.
Can I give it another?
You get a lot of chef's kisses in this one. Even in the stands are like, now that we're this far ahead, like the coach should just keep Chadwick safe, keep him on the bench, and save him for when we need him.
Him and
And
yeah.
I was like, yeah, for sure, because at that point we didn't need Chadwick because we had already gotten so
but
far.
we wanted him.
Yeah, we wanted him, but I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him.
I know. Yeah, it is really sad. We only have a few weeks left with some of these guys.
Yeah, I mean Chadwick, Finn, they're aging out.
Yeah.
Trey, aging out.
A lot of guys are.
I don't like it.
Friddle. We've only had you for a few weeks, Friddle. Darn it. Oh well.
It's sad. All right. Anyways,
such is the nature of the game, I suppose.
Yeah, it is, but I don't like it either way. Anyways, the third. So we have.
So Trey got his second goal in the third, and then they had him on the ice a ton, and they were trying to get him that hat trick. That would have been amazing, but
it didn't happen.
It didn't pan out, which no one's fault necessarily. Opportunity missed, but that's okay. We were absolutely, like, I screamed hat trick Trey so many times, like my voice, like it's probably a little raspy still today because I totally lost my voice last night screaming for you to get that hat trick, Trey.
After we were screaming for Friddle to get that hat trick,
and then
lots of screaming,
more Lindsay drama.
Lindsay. Okay,
Lindsay
so
hip sag drama this time.
Hip sag, in case you guys don't know or don't recognize that name, hip sag was a Wild for a couple years.
You know how much we love the Wild.
And you know how much the Wild loves us. So hip sag was like, all right, my season's over, which he got to play more than the actual Wild got to play. So you traded up.
Yeah.
For a couple games anyway. And
while it lasted.
And Hipsag decided he wanted to. I don't even know. Even watching the replay, I don't know what started it. But Hipsag goes after Lindsay with everything he has, and Lindsay probably knows he's not supposed to be fighting, especially since he just broke a guy's nose,
and he's not supposed to get ejected.
And so Lindsay was just blocking it, whatever. So the refs break him up. After Hipsag, like, literally was even uppercutting the guy.
Yeah.
Just, like,
going
it was
after him.
Fierce.
And this was down by our goal.
Yeah. And then here comes Appleman.
Appleman?
I'm like, we need to protect you. Stop doing stuff that might get you
getting
kicked.
In the middle of stuff.
Because if you get ejected, then we're not going to be happy. So you got to just behave. So he... Appleman goes over there, and he's not throwing punches or anything, but I'm sure his mouth is going.
Chirping. Oh, he's chirping.
And so Hipsag breaks away from little girl ref and punches Appleman straight in the head.
No,
you see,
don't do it.
You see Appleman's head, and he hits him hard because Appleman's like, boom, like you can see his head move, and then he's like sits back up, and he's like, what the heck?
Going taken down right off the face-off is Hirschberger. Now we got Hipsag and Perea going at it. Now Hipsag with another big horn. It looks like Garrett Lindsay. Oh, and then Hipsag just took a punch at Appleman. That's going to be the night for Ryan Hipsag.
He got
I'm sure he went
nailed.
right. I'm sure he went right back to chirping.
Oh, I'm sure he did too. But I'm like, I've never seen a goalie get punched before.
No.
Unless Schindler's
and like
epic
this
fight.
is after like the entire crowd twice had an Appleman chant, like the entire arena was chanting Appleman, and then Hipsag takes a swing at that guy.
Yeah, that guy. That's not smart.
Way to end your season.
Yeah, Hipsag. I guess he had nothing.
End your season alone in the showers.
But it is so funny. So I don't know ever if the guys on the ice are friends. Like, I know a lot of these guys from different teams have played together, kind of grown up together.
Some of them played before they were... Yeah.
So you always see them, and even when they're chirping at each other, they're smiling, just trying to piss the other one off, like, yeah, like smiling. Or they could actually be friends, and they're actually, like, just talking and laughing. I don't really know. Yeah. We've seen them both. But during this fight, before Branson gets knocked upside the head, you see Hirschberger, and he's got a guy in a chokehold. And I'm like... Is that like a friendly chokehold, or is it like move and I'm gonna snap your neck chokehold? Like he has his whole arm around. We're gonna clip it too, because I'm like, Are they friends or food? I don't know. Friends or food? Not really sure. But it's...
Well, and then after that whole fiasco, Hipsag got a weird penalty, and you screenshotted it. It's no longer on Game Center, but we screenshotted it on her phone before they changed it. It was excessive penalties.
So Hipsag got a ton. So you have right around 17-17. If you have Null TV, go back and watch it. So it's actually, 3 minutes left?
Yeah, three something. 2 and 40 seconds left.
Yeah, whatever.
He got instigation and roughing, and then it's now a fighting major, so he was ejected. Fighting under 5 GM. That's a major, right? Yeah.
I don't think so. Fighting under 5 would be a minor.
Minor. That's a minor. Yeah. You're right, because it says MIN. Oh. MIN means minor. Fighting under 5, I don't know what that means.
But before it was excessive.
I bet that means under 5 minutes left in the game. But it used to be excessive penalties.
I don't even know. Yeah, there was a time. But if you look up, he also got some up here. Hipsag got roughing, a 4 minute for roughing. Yeah. So, I mean, he was naughty throughout the whole game. And so Lindsay not only did the Mike Tyson punch out thing, but he also got ejected later on the game for a slashing 5 minute and then a slashing minor. So
yeah,
it was a eventful third period. The Sabres knew they were going to lose. They wanted us to just get beat down, and they tried. They tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, flat out. And we actually said the words because we were talking so much crap about the Bozeman announcer and his eulogy that went on for 20 minutes after the last game, and we're like, and then we're like, after Wednesday night, we're like, are we gonna have to admit?
Yeah, are we gonna have to eat crow?
Eat crow and admit that
nope,
we're not winners anymore. We lost. We lost. No, but we don't.
Nope.
So we're still good. We're still good. At some point, I hope we never have to eat crow because, we're winners. We're winners.
Yeah. And we had a RASER goal, too. He finished out the game.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
But he didn't get a whole lot of goals, even regular season. He wasn't a high scorer.
Really
so
good.
it's great to see him scoring on a playoff game.
He's a really good middleman.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we don't see that. Same with Jabari and same, all of those. We don't see many goals. We know that they're invaluable to the team in making those goals.
But they don't show up necessarily on the Game Center list.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good to see RASER up there with a goal.
For sure.
That's cool. That's a cool thing for him to have.
Yeah.
And good for us, too, because the final score was 7-2.
7-2.
That is awesome. Which was the best scoring game of that, set of... we had the best score. We scored the most goals out of all of the other playoff games that were happening.
Yeah,
at the same
they were
time.
all a lot closer.
They were a lot closer. And we were
embarrassing. This was like the quake.
Kind of was.
It kind of was.
Mopped them up.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, playoff status currently was this West Bend Power
obviously.
1.
I wonder how Bro's doing. Bro. I wonder how Bro's doing with West Bend.
And this is what Grizzly and
Cyclones.
So we have the Minnesota Moose and the Blizzard game going on right now. We're watching it on her phone.
And there might be 600 people there.
Yeah. And then the Grizzlies and the Cyclones are also in warm-up right now. So they're also playing tonight. So those are the two that we're waiting for. But the Americans did beat the Hawks just a few minutes ago. So the current lineup is West Bend Power. And then Grizzlies or Cyclones, we don't know. The Binghamton Buzz won theirs. The Northeast Generals won theirs. We won ours. And Great Falls won theirs. And I'm on the NA3HL website looking at this stuff. The Louisiana Drillers and the Ice Wolves on that side. And then, which one was
Granite City.
Granite City won theirs, and then...
Now we're waiting on Alexander.
We're waiting on the Moose and the Blizzard right now. So, Granite City, Ice Wolves.
Well, right now, Alexandria
Louisiana.
has a 4-minute power play. So, the
Nice.
Moose is being naughty.
Yeah, they are. Yep. And so, Great Falls, Helena. So, we're going to play Great Falls this week, Wednesday night. It's currently Sunday as we're recording. I'm going to try to get this out before Wednesday, though. So we're going to play Great Falls Wednesday night in Great Falls, or Friday, Saturday in Helena.
If needed,
again.
Saturday. Hopefully it won't be needed.
If needed, Saturday. If we win Wednesday and we win Friday, then we won't have to play on Saturday, which is great.
I thought they were going to replace Ryder. They brought in this null drop-down guy. I thought that Ryder was going to be replaced, but here he is again.
Whatever.
Ryder, we're not scared of you no more.
We know what you're about, dude.
Yeah. Do we?
Yeah. He brings it when he has to.
Well,
but
I
not
know,
when he
but
doesn't.
do we
He's
know
kinda
how to
lazy.
get past his writer wall?
We'll figure it out. I have faith in our guys.
Well, no, for sure. But dude, when he comes to Helena, he's got superpowers.
We gotta get in his head.
How do you get in somebody's head that looks like that? He's so big.
Well, that's not my job, so I'll let the boys figure that one out.
Okay, we'll figure it out and figure it out
Yeah.
quick because we have anxieties.
Yeah.
Issues.
This is playoffs, guys. This is no time to like mess around. This is like we gotta win. Period.
Yeah, we gotta win. We're winners.
So
if not, we gotta create a eulogy.
After this weekend, then is the FRASER Cup in St. Louis.
Yeah, which we haven't figured out if we're going yet. We're on
like if we're actually like flying there, we're gonna figure out today whether we're going or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the Bighorns are guaranteed to go now that
yeah,
we won
us.
this
Sorry,
weekend.
I switched.
But we
need to figure it out.
We personally are gonna figure it out.
I think it'd be cool to go, but I don't know.
It's hard to know.
It is hard.
We're busy
to know.
moms, you guys.
I know.
There's so much going on. I'm gonna be in Utah next weekend.
Yeah.
For my kids' archery tournament. And then I was gone like all of this weekend for the women's retreat that I kind of sort of went to, but didn't really.
For like a couple hours.
For like a few hours each day.
Yeah.
But then I was at hockey every night. And then the weekend after that's FRASER, and the weekend after that's the Wyatt Winfield tournament that we're going to be doing. So.
Yeah. It'll be great.
All right. What else? Any more hockey talk or otherwise?
I don't know.
Well, let's wrap it. Okay. Well, thanks to Kohler for being our podcast
and letting my
sponsor.
daughter come and play on the ice with us.
Yep.
It was fun, even though she showed me up. Whatever.
And I got my
She's
horns
young
up.
and buff.
I got my horns up hoodie on. This is in our merch store on unofficialbighorns.com. And yeah, I think that's all.
We have to tell the Finn story.
Oh, that's right.
We said we were going
to tell the Finn story.
I want to murder her still now.
So,
murder.
Leanna's favorite player is Finny.
He's been
Is Finny
legit
for like 2 years. She loves him.
I'm awkward
because he is more delightful than the most delightful pastry you can imagine. Like, he's so scrumptious. Like, come on, it's Finn. So I finally had enough last night, and I had enough wine cooler shots because I'm a lightweight and a truly that I had a little liquid courage in me, and so I went up to Finn after the game and I introduced myself. And I was like, hey, man, good job. I was like, will you please come talk to Leanna because you've been her favorite player for 2 years and she refuses to come talk to you. And he's like, I would love to. And I'm like, first of all, great answer. And second of all, come here. Let me introduce you. So I go over and she is the most awkward.
I'm awkward.
The most awkward child ever.
I felt like back in high school when your friends go and do something stupid and put you in an awkward position. That was that. I had flashbacks.
I did that to you.
And I'm like, huh? Okay, so in my defense, I felt weird because he's been my favorite player. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I've never went and talked to him because we stay you just don't. We stay, but last year, like, I don't know. So it's like 1 year, it's like, oh, I never talked to Finn. That's cool. The end of the second year, at that point, it's just weird. Okay,
it's been so long.
It's been like an identity of mine. Like my favorite player, I've never talked to. I've talked to most of the other ones, but for some reason, I just haven't spoke to him.
I love how weird it was. I love that for you. Actually, I love that for me.
When you become my age,
so funny to watch.
When you become my age, you don't have these moments anymore.
No.
And so I didn't know how to respond. I'm like, eh. And my husband's like, your face was so red.
And she was like fidgeting with her keys so hard that
they fell apart. They fell apart and they fell to the ground. So the whole time I'm trying to talk, I'm picking up keys as they drop.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you guys ever talk to us in person,
great.
We're super awkward. And
yes,
so
you know who can attest to that? Shell's grandma. She met us in the bathroom as we were fighting over stuff. And she was like, it's so nice to see you guys in person. And we're like, you're the sweetest thing ever.
And we always act like this.
We were just bickering. Yeah, this is our normal. Yeah.
We were just bickering about something stupid in the bathroom. Yeah. And then she comes out and I'm like, and she's like the nicest lady ever. And I'm like, why? What is wrong with us? Yeah. Like, we can't even accidentally not be like... We just awkward.
No, we just are.
And then we're in the bathroom like, we're like, sorry, we're fine. Like, we do this all the time.
It's so cool to see you guys in person. I was like,
we love you. Like
I'm sorry that we're so weird.
In the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great.
It was great.
Awesome.
She was super sweet. It just shows that we are really... I don't know how we survived so long.
I know. How are we still alive? How are we still functioning humans? How are we raising functioning humans?
Maybe they're not functioning.
Maybe they're not.
But anyways.
Yeah. So she finally got to meet Finn. So Finn, thanks for humoring me and putting her through that. I'm sure it was probably painful for you too. But I got so much joy out of that interaction.
And can I tell you the story about why I even decided that Finn's my favorite player? And you're going to think I'm crazy, but this is just how I work, okay? So at the time, we had Nick Corbett on the team. Remember, I love Nick because he helped. He helped. He worked with the kids a lot. Camps.
Yeah,
and so he had my son a lot, and he was awesome. And so I was like, I love Nick. And then Nick went bye-bye, as bighorns sometimes do. They just randomly disappear, like Brian White.
Randomly disappear. Yeah,
they do. Well, he went to Florida, but Brian White, where are you? Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Okay.
Cotton Eye Joe.
And so I was like, I need a new player because Bloom was gone and it was a new season. I'm like, it's hard to pick out a new player. Like, you always go for the goalies. That's easy for you. Me, I have to watch a few games.
I have to pick one out of 2 or 3.
Yeah, your job's easy. Me, I have to, like, watch a few games and be like, ooh, I like. So this one time, they're playing the game, and I think I told you this, but this was 2 years ago.
I don't remember.
We were playing. I don't even remember who we were playing, and it was Finn's job to intimidate the guy that had the puck behind the goal. Right? So he was standing in front of the goal like G-Bar was last night.
G-Bar was doing a great job of that.
I wouldn't want to move. And Finn, he's got those light eyes, right? Mm-hmm. And so he was doing the scary hockey mask thing.
Mm-hmm. The psycho killer look?
Oh, dude. But he had his eyes, like he had his head down and he was just staring at the guy, and no joke, he looked like a zombie.
Oh, that's right.
And he was staring down that guy, and all you could see was like these shadows and these like grayish eyes, and he was just watching him. And I'm like, who the crap is that? And then he ended up.
And that was the moment fell in love.
I was in Finn love at that moment, and then it helped that the crazy, creepy zombie guy also was a fantastic player, and it was just that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if you have that intimidation factor.
Mad respect.
And then,
but then, like, we met him off the ice, and he really is such...
They all are.
He's such a sweetheart. Like...
They all are.
Well, I mean, but Finn is, like... I feel like
I was too busy panicking. I didn't get all that.
Yeah.
I was just like, eh.
No, he has such a gentle spirit, kind of. Like Hirsch is just, like, wild and out there and, like, dynamic.
Still
and
super
Branson
sweet.
Is a peacock and, like, living up, this,
but
like...
we love you.
Fandom. Yeah, we do. This fan, and he's got that, like, super hard drive to do stuff. And then Finn comes out and he's just...
I don't remember any of this. I tried to block it out of my memory.
Sweet.
I was too busy trying to pick up my
delightful.
keys from the ground. After I chewed my nails off throughout these 2 games trying to pick up keys off that floor while I'm talking.
I find you to be quite delightful, Finn. Even though she's not.
No. But they all are nice. Like Austin Tyler.
Stanny.
You meet him outside the rink.
Or just Stan? Just Stan. It's just
Stan.
It's just Stan. Yeah.
But like you meet him off the rink and he is just so adorable. Jesus is adorable.
And then he gets on the ice and he's a freaking beast.
Dude, he's like, I will fight you and your mom. Bring it. And it's so funny.
Get her out on the ice so I can punch her too.
And even Shell, like the sweetest kid ever. And then he's been, yeah. And it's funny because even Lindsay or Mike Tyson.
Shell's a thinker though.
Yeah. But even Lindsay, the Mike Tyson guy, he played with my son's league.
Oh,
he was out there. It was like parents versus kids. And last year, the kids won. So this year, the parents brought in Garrett Lindsay. And so whenever the parents got behind, then Lindsay would go in there and like... No problem.
Flip one.
Yeah,
in.
he would like steal it from a kid and just be like, and then they would take him out. Anyways, but he was
that's
just
enough, Lindsay.
a smile. Like he was having a blast. Like the whole time
so
he was
funny.
just cracking up and smiling. Like he thought, and it was so weird to see because we see these guys and they're all like,
well, and this is the first year that we've actually really gotten to know a good portion of the team. Because last year, I mean, we were doing the podcast, but we were pretty far removed from the players themselves. So it is really cool to kind of take like this history that we have doing the podcast and then actually be able to like meet a lot of the players.
Yeah, which we...
And that's partly our own fault just because we don't like to like talk to people.
Yeah, awkward.
I mean, we're talking to a camera or phone on a tripod right now.
That's even new because before we'd only be talking to this.
To this by ourselves with nothing like...
Yeah, and
like,
we would
messy
meet
buns,
the boy,
no makeup, pajamas.
But we would, we would go to like the team building exercises and we would do stuff like that. But like,
we didn't really like get to meet the guys.
But we also didn't really.
We didn't try either.
No. And so
but this year we're
like, well, it's different. We're going to go play hockey. If you guys want to show up, fine.
Whoever's there can.
Yeah, and it turned out to be great. But I'm like, I always have the mentality where I'm like, I don't want to bother people. Because I know my life is super busy. Your life is super busy. And so I'm always like, they probably get sick of it. And they probably don't want to be disturbed.
And we do have to kind of preserve, like, there's a time to talk to fans and be, like, in the spotlight. And then there's a time where you just get to be you. And, the just get to be you part should be, like, the majority of the hours out of the week.
Yeah. So I never want to ask, like, hey, we're going to go ice skating. I know you guys are on the ice all the time, but why don't you come? But I mean,
and also we're going to have a camera set up filming you.
Yeah, guys, sorry about that. But
it was for posterity.
It was.
So that my success as a goalie will forever be on the internet.
And not me as a forward.
No.
No.
All right, let's wrap it.
All right, we're wrapping it. It's still 0-0 in New Mexico in the blizzard. Almost at the end of the first, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Anyways.
Oh, wait. No, do it again.
We're not awkward at all.
I forgot. Oh, we're done. Okay. Bye.
At Builders First Source, we're harnessing the power of innovation to transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multi-family units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
You're never going to live it down now that you did that fin thing. You're done for.
Dude.
I was going to behave, and now I'm like, screw you.
Why? Because I made you speak to a delightful young man.
In an awkward way.
It wasn't awkward at all.
It was like back in high school where somebody went and grabbed, like...
Yeah. Because you're being an idiot every freaking time. He's out there all the time.
But he's never available. He's always like...
I know. That's why I went and grabbed him for you.
That's weird, and then I kept dropping my keys.
Yeah, you did. It was weird. It was only awkward because you were awkward.
I already told you.
He was fine.
I'm awkward.
He was oh my gosh, I'm like so
Say
much
delightful
more.
Again.
I am so much more in love with him now that I've met him because he's like freaking delightful.
Delightful.
He's delightful.
When's the last time you've ever used that word?
About 12 seconds ago when I said
before that.
I think I was talking about like a pastry.
You're about like this to a pastry
yeah,
then.
Yeah. Delightful.